Have you ever been in a situation where you've really desired to do something, and then the first thing you do is you look at somebody else who's doing the exact same thing, and then you just don't do it? You just completely puts you off. In this video, I want to talk about the importance of risk taking and how it is absolutely necessary if you are somebody who wants to thrive and prosper. I want to share a quote by Mark Zuckerberg. He says, "The biggest risk is not taking any risks." Now, this leads perfectly onto my first point, that taking risks will always lead onto new opportunities, but you have to take a step out of your comfort zone. When we're in our comfort zone for too long, we often feel a deep sense of frustration. I have found that what often keeps us in these situations where we're in our comfort zone for far too long is when we are pondering on the what ifs or the self-doubts. Take Richard Branson. He dropped out of school when he was 16 years old, and his business was to start a magazine company. By the time he was 20, he founded a mail order record company, which essentially expanded into Virgin. We have to stop allowing the norms in society to really dictate what we do and what we don't do. And essentially, these are the things which keep us in our comfort zone, and it stops us from taking that leap of faith. The norms of working a 9-to-5 job, the norms of going to university. And that's not me saying that these things aren't going to push people. But what I am saying is that sometimes when we focus solely on what society says that we should do, the ripple effect of that is what keeps us in our comfort zone. There's a saying that the most richest place is the cemetery, because so many people end up dying with books in them that they didn't write, with businesses in them that they didn't set up. So for some people, entrepreneurship is literally on the inside of them, but they are just crippled with fear, and that is what stops them from taking that step of faith. You have to acknowledge the fact that there is always going to be a level of being uncomfortable when taking a step of faith. So if you are someone who is more risk adverse like I am, then you have to calculate the costs of that risk. So if you are looking to, go into freelance, because I get a lot of messages from you guys about wanting to step into freelance, then you do have to calculate the cost and save up some money so that if you are, if you do leave a job and you're out of a job, then, you've got some money to fall back on. So these are all real calculated costs that need to be weighed up upon. So what I really want to own in on is the fact that you have to move out of your comfort zone in order to really open up doors of opportunities in other areas. Our comfort zone will only take us so far. Stepping out of our comfort zone is really what is going to propel us to the next level in our lives and essentially level up your life. So take the necessary steps to limit risks if you're someone who is more risk adverse, and work towards venturing out of your comfort zone so that there are ample opportunities that are at your doorstep. Taking risks builds confidence, new skills, and also resilience. Resilience is a word that I love, because a lot of the time we are forced into situations where we have to be resilient. Resilience is built when you're able to overcome setbacks and problems. But oftentimes we don't purposely choose to put ourselves in situations where we are to be resilient. A lot of the time it comes from situations being forced upon us. For example, being laid off from a job. Resilience is built when you are constantly having to have interviews and apply for new roles, when you are constantly hearing no's. It could be when you've started a business venture, but your business is just not making any money, and you have to find other ways of making money. You have to perhaps go back to work for a couple of months. These are all areas and ways where you are building resilience, and essentially this resilience is what strengthens you, right? And this graft, as much as it can be quite grueling, and it's not something that we all want to go through, right? But the self-confidence that you create as a result of that can be life-changing. It's that self-confidence where you now believe in yourself. It's that self-confidence where you can now speak up for yourself in the room where it could be dominated by males, and you might, feel insecure talking because you're a female and you might be the only female in the room, or you may be the only woman of color in a room, man of color in a room. I started freelancing because I hated the Groundhog Day. I wanted some kind of excitement in my life. I wanted to get to a place where every day felt different, which is one of the things that I love about project management also. Every day is a different day, and the different projects you get to work on is another opportunity to really, learn something new. Take those risks, because you don't know what's on the other end of your obedience, okay? It could be as simple as you making new friends, You go into a business event, you go into a networking event, you go into the mum and baby group, whatever it could be, right? Just you stepping out and you taking a risk and you putting yourself out there can change everything. Do you want to set up a YouTube channel? Go for it. What's stopping you? Like, what is actually holding you back except for these silly thoughts that you might have? Conquer those thoughts. Get over those thoughts and get over yourself, because a lot of the time we step into our own way. Great rewards are at the other end of our fears. The truth is, with taking risks, there is always going to be a daunting feeling initially. But one of the things that I really want to stress is, you see those influencers that you look up to, or a certain person in a particular field that you look up to, they had to take a risk to get where they are today. There is always the risk of being judged or people not liking you. But this is the nature of the risk, and it comes with the process, right? When you step out in any area and you're doing something that is worth doing, we're always going to risk someone not liking us or something, but you can't care. Like, you have to not care about what people think about you, and you have to have a flint face and just go for it. And I say it with such ease, but the truth of the matter is it doesn't always feel good. It's not going to give you that instant gratification. But if you are someone that really desires to be somebody of influence, then grab a pen and paper and let's map this out together. So the first thing, understand the nature of the risk. What is it? Write it down, make it clear, put it on paper, type it up. You need to understand what it is exactly that you want to do. Second thing, identify your fears, whatever it is. Could it be financial fears? Could it be the fear of being judged, the fear of being disliked? So identify exactly what it is that you are fearing or the concerns that you have. Third thing, evaluate the potential reward. What is the outcome going to be if the risk actually pays off? Is it going to be more money? Is it going to be influence in a particular field where you can in turn make more money? Is it simply to help other people? Is it for you to feel good about yourself and to grow in confidence? This step is what's going to help you start to feel excited about the risk. Fourth thing, make a plan so that you are prepared. Research. Know what it is you're trying to do and research it. There is ample content on YouTube, free content in any and every area. Number 5, take incremental steps. Now, if it's a business venture, then you might have to seek out a mentor in that particular field. You may potentially offer to volunteer in a particular area for free. Anything where you are gaining hands-on experience. Number 6, embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Please don't get caught up in the negatives. Don't get caught up in the, I've been applying for roles for a few months now and I've been told no after no. Believe me, I've told so many people this that have contacted me about project manager roles. Every no is just getting you closer to your yes. And I know that the process is grueling and it's hard and it's frustrating. I used to get so frustrated. Believe me, I have been there. It took me about 15 job interviews to get a specific role in events management, and then only to be let go of that role before I even hit 3 months. But the next role is what propelled me into project management, which essentially is where my career lifted. So there might be a short-term setback when you're going through rejection, but use it as an opportunity to keep improving. Stay positive and resilient. You got to focus on the long-term goal here, which is why I said write it down, make it clear, put it in a vision board. We all know one person that says that they want to do A, B, or C, but they just don't do it. Don't be that person. Set aside time and every few months revisit your goals. Remind yourself of the long-term plan. Finally, you have to celebrate every win, even if it is a job interview and you don't get the role. I mean, come on, your CV is working. You got a job interview. You're just getting closer and closer to your yes. So please be encouraged. Don't compare yourself to other people either, because that is the biggest stealer of our potential. Have you ever been in a situation where you've really desired to do something, and then the first thing you do is you look at somebody else who's doing the exact same thing and then you just don't do it? You just completely puts you off. Please don't steal your own dreams by comparing yourself to somebody else. I hope that this video encouraged you. Drop me a comment and let me know what risk you will be taking. And I wish you the best of luck in that specific area. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.